All right, we're recording now. I want to welcome everyone here today and Richard Govia, who is our E-rate consultant for the New Mexico State Library, is going to be doing our presentation today. And Richard, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Dale. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining. My name is Richard Govea. I'm the Broadband Program Manager at the State Library. About half of you I've probably worked with in the past on your E-rate. So hello again, and thank everybody for joining me. I wanted to take a little bit of time today and explain or go over a program that's become available from the FCC. While it doesn't directly impact a library, it does provide some solutions or options or relief for the patrons of a given library. So I'm glad you all can join. Let me show my screen really quickly. So everybody see my screen? All right, so what we're looking at here is the FCC's new Emergency Broadband Benefit Program. It was on February 25th, it was adopted by the FCC, and they started moving forward with rules establishment. What we're looking at is $3.2 billion in federal funding that will help lower cost of internet services for people at home. This includes households anywhere throughout the country. When you put that number out there, 3.2 billion can disappear pretty quickly. So there's still some unknowns, but we'll go over the knowns that we know at this time. So let's just go quick to the sheet. So what the benefit is overall. Overall, what it provides is a $50 or $75 a month discount for broadband services. It's $50 a month for your typical household, and $75 a month if you're on tribal lands. You also can get up to a one-time discount of $100 for a laptop, a desktop, or a tablet, but you need a pro. It's kind of similar. You go through the vendors that have signed up for the program and have been approved, which is basically just signing up. And I have a list that I can share with you later on of who's currently signed up. But you can get a monthly discount on your service. That's one discount per household, and that's one device per household. It's not multiple. And eligibility, it's a wide range. Looking at some of these bullet points here, if you can see those, it's encompassing pretty much anybody that has received some sort of federal assistance. If you qualify for the Lifeline program, which is another federal program that provides monthly subsidies for internet and telecommunication services. That one's lower. That one I think is $9.25 a month for your standard household, or I think upwards of $30 a month for a tribal on tribal lands. If you receive benefits under free and reduced school lunch program at your school district, that's a large amount here now in New Mexico. We have a large participation in that, so that covers a large group of our population. And if you've experienced substantial loss during since February 2020, just like everything else with the COVID, there's some income restrictions, but for the most part, if you have suffered a hardship during this COVID times, you probably qualify for this subsidy. If you receive a Pell Grant for the current award year, or you meet other low-income or COVID-19 programs. So that's pretty well encompassing. I mean, a lot of us have, a lot of our patrons even have been impacted by the COVID shutdowns over the past year or so. So it's a large group that would be eligible for this amount of money. And the target for it really is, this program overall is trying to help the citizens in the country kind of cope or afford to get connectivity. I mean, the way things are working right now, schools are closed, libraries open, closed, other private businesses open and closed, but students and households still need connectivity. Students are pretty much remote working. I know now they're trying to get back into the regular in-school learning, but they're still having to do part-time, or if there's an outbreak, they got to work at home. So one, they need access to broadband. This funding here will not exactly help those that don't have a broadband option in place, but it can help offset that monthly burden for that broadband that they do have. Hopefully this will reach the majority of our students who are at home. Like I said, majority of our community members or households will qualify for this benefit. So we're hoping to get more information here soon. Just to let you know right now, we just got information that the FCC is hosting a webinar on the 27th at 1 p.m. local, where they will go over the program and probably provide some information on some details that we are still missing. One of the things that I am still unclear of, and it's a little bit, I wouldn't say concerning, it's just I would like to understand how are they going to disperse, or how are they going to allocate the $3.2 billion. It seemed like a first come, first serve, but we don't know if that's going to provide 6 months of subsidies, 12 months, 3 months. We really don't know. Those are the things that we would like to find out. But we won't probably know that here until next Tuesday, I believe. So I can provide that link when we're done. So here it is right here. Who can sign up? It hasn't kicked off yet, but they're hoping, and they're still projecting by the end of April that applicant or people in need or people that want to join the program can sign up at the FCC's website. But right now there's nothing there yet. It's information. There's not much beyond that. And here about providers, we do have a list of providers. I think we have somewhere around 30 providers throughout the state, and this is everything from your local LEC, your local Plateau, or CenturyLink, or a T-Mobile, or an AT&T. There's different types of providers that signed up, but we have a list of them, and I can provide that and share that with the group. So hopefully we have enough coverage for the state to make sure that we can provide coverage. I know there are some dead spots out there. Having worked with broadband in the state for the past 5 years, directly with schools and libraries, I understand that there's still some areas that we can't reach, but that doesn't mean that the majority of the other locations can't benefit from this program. And I think for the most part, that's about the information that we have. What we were discussing with Eli, or I was discussing with Eli earlier, was even though this program is not directed towards libraries, how can we help, or what can we do? Most importantly is information. I know you librarians and your libraries are a central location for your communities to get information about what's going on. And this would be something that you can share as well. It could be something as simple as a flyer you have on your door, although I don't know how many of you are open yet, so that might be a little more difficult. But if you have a listserv that you update your patrons on, that would be a good way to share the information. Let them know that there is some assistance out there that will become available this month. We also have other options. Say, some of you that I've worked with, I see Maria in Columbus is here, Silver City. Some of you have networks where we can actually post this information on your wireless networks, so that when a patron or an individual tries to access your guest Wi-Fi, we can post that information there as well, so that they can just directly link to it, sign up, and see if they can get assistance. So it really is, for us for now, it would be really just great if our libraries could work together and try to get this information out. Let's see if our patrons can benefit from this program. Other states potentially have thought about libraries doing bulk signups for households, but that's a little bit more difficult. That's I think even with a short time frame, I think those other states may have some issues doing that as well. It takes a lot of coordination, and again, we don't know the details yet. So it'd be hard to ask a library to say, let's do signups from your library, or how that would work. It takes a lot of coordination, but information, sharing the information, letting your patrons know this is coming out. How can we help? And how can I help? At the state library, if they have questions, they can always reach out to me. I can help as much as possible. But we're really just looking forward to see what we can do to help connectivity in our rural areas and our communities around the libraries, and how to offset some of those costs. So with that, that's pretty much the gist of the program. I would like to go ahead and stop there and open up for anybody that has any questions or suggestions.
Hi, Richard.
Hey, Felicity, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
This is Felicity Fonseca. I am newly at Los Alamos Public Library System. And I guess I have a question. Could you talk more about why you think it wouldn't be feasible to do direct signups at the library? And then my other thought is, what if we worked with other social service providers, like in our area or in our region?
So the only cautionary point on bulk signups is if I don't have the information, if I'm not understanding how that works, I would hate to put that upon you. But yes, it's definitely doable. It's just it's a little bit more convoluted of how that'll work out. It is a benefit that a library could offer that to their patrons, since this might allow them to have broadband or connectivity at home, so they would do that at the library through the librarian, or they could just use a library as the tool to access the website, right? Use your services so they can sign up individually. So it is completely feasible. It's completely fine. If we want to organize that, I'd be more than willing to work with any libraries to try to figure out the best way to approach it that way, because it would be a bulk submission, from what I understand, through the library. So that's something, if you're interested in, we can definitely work on that. And I missed the second half of your question.
Well, I guess I'm wondering, like, working with regional area or local or regional, like, social service providers. Is this information getting out into other, do you know how well the information is penetrating?
Right. I don't. I do know we send, as you see, February 25th is kind of when this first started, this information of the EBP. But we've been kind of waiting for the Department of Education to kind of provide a unified message on that, and they're starting to do that. So I'm not sure 100% who was aware of that, this program, but I'm going to guess that there is some information and some knowledge of this program. So I think it would work to outreach or work alongside with other social service providers in your area. I can always go back and look. I know PED's been doing a lot of work on trying to figure out the message to put out for this. And they may be working with other state agencies that would be providing this service for the communities. But I'll look into it. Thank you, Felicity, and hope you're enjoying yourself in Los Alamos. Sorry.
Yeah, nice to see you.
You as well. All right. Anybody else?
Richard, there's some of the libraries, particularly in tribal areas, and some of the public libraries where there's broadband either into a school or into the library, but not necessarily out to the community. Do you know if this program will have any effect on that?
It will not, because this program is simply to offset your monthly cost, is what it is. It's not going to work to extend infrastructure further into the communities, unfortunately. There are other bills that are on the way. There's a big one that might be coming out in the summer from the E-rate perspective, but no, this one will not help extend broadband in the communities. But I did want to go back on a note that I may have missed here for everybody to know, is when individuals or households sign up for this service, for this benefit, they just sign up. The reimbursements go directly back to the service provider. So there shouldn't be any extra work on the individual's behalf in order to get the benefits to start moving. They just sign up for it, they get approval, and the provider and the FCC work together to transfer those funds.
And Felicity added another question in the chat box.
Sure. And let me see. I can't see my chat box.
Okay, her question says, one more question. how long will the funding run, or once people are signed up?
And that was something, thank you again. Yeah, that was something I mentioned in the beginning. That's one of the unknowns. It seemed like it's a first come, first serve kind of basis program thing, but it still doesn't help us gauge how long that $3.2 billion will last, right? It's anybody's guess. I mean, if, we have, majority of our communities in New Mexico going, I mean, that's on top. So there's a big unknown as far as how long they're going to support this until that money ends, or how long that money is going to last. So I think the biggest message we got to push, I think, is to make sure everybody's aware, our households are aware that this program is available and when the signups are. And they need to sign up, I think, day one. Trying to get that done. That might be where patrons use your facilities to do that. But yes, it seemed like it's a first come, first serve, and beyond that, I couldn't even give you an answer because I haven't got the information yet. So I guess it's just more of an urgency to sign up sooner rather than later.
Okay, and Janet Phillips from Hemis Springs added a question. Could libraries help individuals to sign up by using library computers to access the application rather than a bulk application?
Of course, yep. However it works for you, you can provide that information however you want to do it to patrons. I mean, I think we can send it out only to so many. I think libraries have more access to the communities. So if you would like to invite them day one, day two, the week, etc., and say, come sign up, yes, of course, definitely. We can make that happen as well, or you can make that happen, yes.
And Therese added a question. Has sign up already started? And who are the vendors for the laptops?
No, the signups have not begun yet. Let me see if I can. The signups haven't begun yet. Like I said, the FCC is holding a webinar on the 27th at 1 p.m. And I can show you the link or put it in the chat. You don't have to sign up. That's kind of an unfortunate thing. You just show up on time and you go over the program. But I would assume at that meeting next week on Tuesday, that they would provide us with a sign-up date, which would be probably a day or two after the webinar. So no time yet. And let me see if I can grab this here for you. This is going to be a little bit hard to read, probably. So we can share this out after we conclude our meeting with the link. We can provide this list for everybody that's interested. There's only a few that are doing the actual devices. And this column here, column G, if you can see this, if it's not too small, I'll try to blow it up a little bit. Column G in the spreadsheet shows you who's offering devices. Not very many here. OneStream is, not sure who this is, Human IT, T-Mobile, ComNet, Frontier, and another America Mobile SAB. Those are the ones that are providing options for devices. All of these are actual providers in New Mexico that you would be eligible to participate with. So if you had a T-Mobile in your area, you can use that, or a Sacred Wind, or whoever's in your area. If you already have service, you would just simply sign up for the benefit, and then you should be receiving that discount shortly after. I couldn't say how long, but it should be relatively quickly. And I will share this information here, as well as a PDF. I can share that, and then I have some links where you can see facts about the program, what the questions are asked, a fact sheet about it, and then the link to the sign up page, or the webinar page of the FCC. Do you have any other questions? For those of you that do have, and this is a smaller group, or even some of you that have an IT person. For those of you that have Rocky networks that I've worked with in the past, I will be reaching out and asking if we could modify your Wi-Fi splash page where we can host this link and the information. That way anybody that visits your library, accesses the wireless network, can actually sign up on their own from their phone or their device once they connect. That's also another good option to do. So I will work with you, anybody that wants to do that. And we can work with the ones that I don't have access with as well. If you have a network, a wireless network out there where it's managed by an IT company, we can provide you with the information and they can help you set that up on your Wi-Fi splash page as well if you're interested. But for any questions, you can always reach out to me and we can make something work together. So do we have any other questions?
Okay, I'll ask one. Richard, I'll ask another one, which is like, do you have a ready press release?
We have one from PED. They wanted to share some information. If it's ready, if it's vetted by them, if it's approved, I can share that with everybody as well.
Okay.
We at the state library do not have one, but PED does have one.
Because I could push it out through some press chant. Maybe that would be a good way to share the information with different partners.
We'll work on that. Since PED already has one, we can take a look at what they have. We can work with the state library, Eli, and development to see if we want to put our own short message together that we can share with libraries, and we can share that with everybody, and they can provide that to their patrons or their customer base. Okay, well, you're welcome. If nobody has any other questions, I think that is it. I appreciate everybody for showing up, and you can always reach out to me anytime you need for any questions you have with this or any other broadband, IT, or E-rate questions. So thank you.
All right, thank you, Richard. And I'm going to stop the recording now.